All right. So here is a quick run through of what we have discussed today. So we opened Photoshop. We talked about the dashboard that greets you. This is the welcome board. Sorry, the dashboard. We talked about the new document panel. This is where we manipulate the type of we organize or the type of document that we want to create in Photoshop. So we talked about the 1080 by 1080 square posts for social media. We talked about the measurements that we make our designs in. For social media, we use pixels. For large format designs, which require precision, whatever we're making, since we're Zambians, we use centimeters. But if you are comfortable in inches and everything like that, you can design it in that. Then we talked about the resolution. When you're designing for screen, a good practice is 72 pixels per inch. But if you're designing for print, say a large format design, mostly whatever you're going to design, even though you design it in 300, if you take it to the large format printer, they like to dull it down to 150. So someone using the 300 is good because they're going to dial down the quality. So if you put 150, maybe they'll make a mistake, then they dial it down by 150, which is not okay. So, but for screens, 72 pixels per inch is okay. We talked about the color modes, which are the modes in which you are going to design your color in your document in. So we talked about two color modes, which are the RGB color, which is red, green, and blue color, which is suitable for screens if you are designing for screen use only for social media and the likes, or we're designing RGB in the RGB color mode. But if you are designing with the intent to print, we go for the CMYK color mode. The CMYK color mode simply stands for cyan, magenta, yellow, and key being black. And this is the color mode that not most, all printers use. So we talked about differences in these color modes. If you design something in RGB color and then you take it to print, you might find that there's a little bit of burning in the color, and then whatever you have designed won't come out in, in the way that you expected it to come out. So we design in CMYK color mode to prevent unnecessary surprises. And then background color and content. This is where you can change your color. Maybe you want to put a transparent background if you're designing for a logo, or a black background or a white background. We use white because it's standard. Where you're using black, it matches the exterior. Then we talked about the color profiles and everything. You don't need to mess with this. So yeah, let's go back to our 1080 by 1080, and then we created a an artboard. So our whatever we're going to design in Photoshop has to be within the bounds of this white space here, our artboard. If you put an element outside here in this vast expanse, let me just press Alt and then move my mouse key to zoom out. If you put something here and then you export your document, it's not going to show. It's going to be there in the document, maybe in the configuration of your PSD file, but whatever you export, it won't be there. So whatever you're going to design in Photoshop, make sure it is within the white space here. Okay, so we talked about how Photoshop is made up of panels, and these panels are arrangeable. You can grab your color panel and then put it the other side here so that you can be using it to change your different color modes. And we talked about when we're changing our color panel, we're changing our colors this side. This color that's been changed here is the color that we're going to use to work with. Say we make a shape, our shape is going to come in the color that is put here. Let's make it red. We see. Oh, our filter has been. Let me go here. because it has been set automatically by the first. But anyway, I do get you understand what I'm saying. We get our text. Our fill tool has been changed here. Let's change it to black. Okay, as you can see, our text changes to black. We change it to blue to bluish again. Our text too changes to blue, just like that. We can dock it again. We can put it back there if you're not comfortable. We can get our patterns and then put them down here. We can put them here. We can put them here. You can put them. You can put these panels wherever you want to put them. Doesn't matter. And then we talked about the different areas that are there in Photoshop. We talked about this side, which is our workspace. Our workspace can be manipulated by going to Windows, Workspace. We already set to Essentials, but I kind of customized this side. So I'm going to say reset Essentials so that we can have similar interfaces. Because when we reset the Essentials, it's going to be taken back to the way that Adobe wanted it to be. I mean, designed it to be. So my artboard looks like my workspace looks like yours now. And then for me, what I did is get my layers panel and then just drag it this side so that I can work with my layers very well. You can do the same with whatever tool that you want. Maybe you're working with channels a lot, and then you can put it there or you can put it back this side, whatever you wish. So let's talk about let's talk about the menu. So on the menu panel, we talked about the Windows panel where we can manipulate our workspace, add gradients and everything like that. This side, just go around looking for tools that you would like to be using a lot. You can add them and then they will show up this side. Let's say the measurement log or to be shown down there. But let's say I do not want my measurement log. What do? I go and remove it. Okay, so we have the plugins panel where if you have any plugins that are installed to your Photoshop, you're going to be able to find them inside. We have the view where we can manipulate the view of the entire artboard and workspace by zooming out using this if you are going to be able to start zooming out from here or zooming in or zooming out, or you can just simply press Alt and then if you have an external mouse you can use your mouse ball to drag it inside or out. You're going to be zooming out, so just play with that and then get used to it. Or if you have your touchpad, you can just be using like the zooming motion that you normally use on your phone whilst you're pressing Alt. Or if you have a keyboard that has the plus icon at the end, this side you can use it as well. Just press Control and then double tap your plus icon there, just as it shows here. The zoom in, the zoom out, or you can use Control 0 to fit to screen. At the 3D panel here, we have different settings that you can use to make 3Ds. You can make a 3D layer from a certain file that you download from somewhere or you've made from somewhere else, and the likes. On filter, you can apply different effects to your images or text or shape. Then at the select panel, you can this is what you can use to select an object in a certain picture and then remove the background. Our type tool, you can use it to manipulate different aspects about your text. Your layer tool, you can use it to manipulate different aspects about your layers. Or you can also come here to your layers panel. Please come here to your layers panel, and then if you have a shape, you can simply click on this guy and then blending options or yeah, the likes. And then our image, you can manipulate images on images adjustments. You can change the HDR toning, but since I'm on using a shape, HDR toning, you see as this shape has become a little bit darker. And then on our edit, you can have different options such as sky replacement, where if you can edit to replace the sky, or you can transform a shape. This one hasn't been. Oh, it has been locked. Unlock, 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 unlock. Okay. Edit, transform. We can flip vertical. We can flip horizontal. Things like that. Okay, so that's about our menu bar. And then on our workspace side, we have different areas that we are going to be sweeping in between just to create our text, our pattern. You see, you can put a pattern into our any shape that you want. This creates a masking layer on your shape there. This thing here. So if you shut down this guy, and you should have shut down the entire effect that's on this page. All right, so we have our gradients panel where you can change different gradients that you want. Let me choose this pastel gradient and then go to our this bucket tool here. Just tap on it and then go to gradient. Make sure that this guy, okay, these guys, merge this. We can change our background anyhow that we wish. That's about our gradients tool there. Or we can change it and say we want some color combination, things like that. Just play around with the gradient tool and see what it does. You can change different how how they show up to you using the gradient panel. But anyway, we go to swatches. These are different color options that Adobe has put together. Say and say these things complement themselves. So if they show up in a design like this, they might look good together. So if you are having trouble figuring out some color combinations for your post, you can use the swatches panel. It's a very good actually. It's very good to use actually for beginners. And like you can see at on your grayscale, we have different shades of gray to black. Yeah, on our CMYK, like I talked about, CMYK is cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. It's not here. I don't know. Okay, so also have our layers panel. Photoshop is mostly, not mostly, designing in Photoshop is about arranging layers in a way that which constructs your desired effect. So you're going to have to learn how to put certain layers on top of the other and everything like that. So yeah, that's about this side. And then on our tools part section, we have our shape tool where we have different shapes that we can make. I showed you how to manipulate these shapes in the video. And then we have our gradient tool. I've shown you our point anchor tool, our quick select tool, our rectangular mark tool, move tool, frame tool, sorry, crop tool, frame tool, color pick tool, and all the likes. So make sure that you watch the video that I will be uploading. It has everything that we discussed and all the tips and tricks that you want to make. Thank you.